2 live.
You're now watching two old farts making noises.
Still grooving, baby. Still grooving.
It's got to be the best graphics of any of the shows, really. That one, because
well, that's only because it's the best show out of any of our shows.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Of course, we say that at every show because we have to make everybody feel like they have the best show.
I mean, other shows are available. Let's put it that way.
They are.
Yes, they are.
But nobody knows where they are. So
yeah, well, they do. They're all hunting around on the 2OF Entertainment channel. So,
yeah.
So.
Eventually they'll find us.
Well, gentlemen,
yes,
it's December 30th. This is the last show of Saturday, December. It's
Oh,
December 30th, Saturday.
Oh, sorry, this is show business.
Old
Show
people, you know, you take your pills.
Keep doing this.
Not the blue one.
No, don't take the blue one. Take the other one from memory. But if you can't remember, take the blue one. So it's the last show of the year of 2023.
Oh, it is. It's Saturday as well. Oh, happy Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah,
somebody kill me now. Anyway.
Show business. Showbiz.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Is there anything else you want to let us know about today? You're good? Okay. Okay.
I've recovered from a bad bout of flu when I lost my voice. So everybody's happy.
We were very happy that you couldn't do shows last week because he had no voice, and I got tons of emails and fan letters going, thank God. But now he's back. So there you go. So
yeah. Well, in fact,
what a year!
It's been a great year.
Yeah, I met you guys.
That's true. We all met each other. It's been a phenomenal year.
Well, virtually.
That's,
I mean,
top of the pops.
Yeah.
Nobody's quite sure if we all exist, as I keep telling everybody who tunes in. You know.
Here we go.
So, although the brown car guy was happy to find out that I had legs, because he was concerned.
He was concerned. David has legs because he saw a video of David throwing a temper tantrum that I posted, and he saw that David had legs. So
David has legs. Okay.
David has legs.
Yeah.
So it has been.
That's the breaking news. Forget anything happening in the Middle East or
the Middle East, nothing.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, the fact that I've got legs should be like everywhere.
I don't know why the BBC hasn't carried that, David. I don't know. We'll have to talk to them.
Yeah.
Nobody has to carry me anymore because I have legs.
Congratulations, you do. You have legs. Yeah. Well, it's been an interesting 2023 with AI.
Yeah.
We were just talking about before we came on our air that Porsche is finally revealing or admitting, I guess, for a better term, it was in the Financial Times this week, that Porsche reckons with its history of a forgotten Jewish co-founder. So Porsche, after 75 years, their extravaganza, the summer included factory tours and sports, finally goes, oh yeah, by the way, there was a Jewish guy that really helped found the company, and Rosenberg. He was born in 1900 in Southwest Germany, the town of, I'll never pronounce it, good luck with that, was a race car driver from what is now Mercedes-Benz. Yep. And Fernand and Porsche, they met and they helped him find Porsche. He helped fund Porsche, taking 10% stake in the company. So, and that was it. So he served as a managing director until the unpleasantness. And when the unpleasantness happened, they got rid of him.
That's very woke, isn't it, to say the unpleasantness?
You mean the fucking Nazis that killed 6 million of my people? Okay, let's just say that then. So when the Nazis, when the brown shirt Nazis came in, I will. The Nazis came in and basically fucked up the place. They got rid of him. And the descendants, the luxury car brand, recognized by Rosenberg as the co-founder, along with Porsche, and a guy named Piech, whose descendants now control Porsche, Volkswagen, with a stable of brands that go from Audi to Lamborghini. So the Rosenbergs hopefully are going to get their money. And in 19,
do you think they have memory problems as to where they should pay their profits to? Do you think? I mean,
yes,
is that memory coming? 75 years worth of memory all coming back.
Well, here's the other thing which is interesting. In 1935, when he had to give his stock to Ferdinand Porsche, he did it below market value. You know, I think it was sort of one of those, like, if you don't do it, we're going to shoot you things, and they did it. But the nice thing for him is he actually lived. He told journalists in 1967, you know, to get rid of me cheaply. He said, what did he said, for 1960 journalists, he said, there's been an successful sought to re-enter the company after the war. He said, and with the co-founder used to be a Jew, to get rid of me cheaply. The company told the Financial Times, researching and coming to terms with its history with an ongoing process for growth. So that was something.
He got the money to Bermuda.
He got to get. They gave him his life and told him to get the you know what out. Reclined and Alpha Rose.
For the rest of the German companies did that. BSAF, you know, Bayer, Volkswagen.
And what's really funny is all the Jewish guys with small penises buy Porsche. So there you go.
Hugo Boss. Yeah, Hugo Boss. Yeah, I mean, Hugo Boss, if you want to wear, you know, Hitler's tailor, then you go out and buy one of those, mate. There you go.
Yeah. Holy moly, you're really on top today, David.
Well, you know, it's one of those. I can't help it that they were the shall we say the SS's favourite tailor. They tailored all the suits. So everybody looked really.
It's not that they were the favorite tailor; they were the only tailor. So listen, if you want to wear Nazi clothing, that's fine. And I think I will say kudos to Porsche to an extent. It took them 75 years to get their head out of their ass and go, oh, by the way. So now what I want to know, and it doesn't say in the article, but the descendants of these guys, are they going to get their 10% back at fair market value? I doubt it, because let's call a spade a spade. The Nazis came in and did the shit, and now you're like, oh, we're so sorry. Listen, our co-founder was Jewish. Yeah, that's great. Give them fucking money back. I want to see if they do that. If they do that, I'm impressed. If not, Porsche, you're still a bunch of fucking Nazis. Your cars are Nazis. I don't care you own Lamborghini, which is one of my favorite cars. Nazis. I'm sorry. Nazis, you're still a bunch of Nazis, and that's it.
But you can't get past 911. I've even driven one.
Oh, that's a great car.
Yeah,
but you know, I noticed when it has with the heated seats when you're Jewish, it gets very warm in the car. I don't know why. Yeah. Anyway, so
because it heats all your money, mate. That's what it makes you.
I did some imports from Germany, also a lot of cars, and I also bought. I didn't know then because it was cheap money, and I was instead of flying home, I bought this car, and it was a Frauen Porsche.
Yeah,
you know, I don't remember the numbers, but that was the ladies' Porsche because it's.
Oh, the Boxer was the ladies' Porsche.
No, but it was just it was nothing. I didn't get the speed was helpless and everything. But I sold it when I came back to Norway. So yeah,
Porsche. I will say one thing: they make a good car. They make good tanks too. I mean, you know, they made Panzer tanks, so they made a good tank. But Porsche and BMW made the plane. So, I mean, they made planes for the Luftwaffe. Let's just be real. But Porsche, the fact that Porsche finally admits it, I'm like, kudos to you. Now, what are you going to do with the 10% that you basically stole from the family? Are you giving it back? Are you going to go to the descendants and distribute, or what?
They've probably got a 75% memory based on the 1% per year.
Right.
So they won't be able to remember where the other 10%. They're not there yet. They can't remember the last 10%.
The article does say that, like the VW and some stuff, I guess he actually helped with, and they gave him like 165 I want to say it was euro, which is about equivalent to about $500,000 or $1 million back in the early 60s. But I'm still like, Porsche, you really want to do the right thing? And the other Nazi companies won't do it. You owe them 10%. Give them their 10% of your company, and they won't do that, but they should. So because
Porsche.
Ultimately, that's it.
Yeah.
Porsche is only money. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. They got more money than God. You sold Bugatti to the Ukrainian company with the supercar, so you got a few shekels there. Give them something. But anyway, I was happy to read it. Also, very sad to read it that it literally took 75 years.
It's going to be done in such a way that it's absolutely, like we accept history, but we don't necessarily. We accept possibly our place in history, but not our actions in history.
I don't accept any of that. You know me. I don't. I mean, it's all bullshit. That's why I like to read and know everything, because to me, it's just like you have to know.
But are you gonna send out a press release saying, "Oh, by the way"?
Yes. What do you think we're talking about right now? Yes, David, I am sending out a press release. This is it. We're doing it on the show. There's a reason I'm doing this.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Stephen. We won't be here next week or next year because somebody will come and cancel us.
Everyone's canceled. No one has the balls to cancel us over this. If they tried to cancel us over this, our show would be like, I guess, Mr. Beats or Joe Rogan. We'd have 50 million viewers and subscribers next week. Like, what are they going to say next?
Well,
so I'm like, try it. And wait, let me just say this before you get us canceled. If someone from Porsche would come on the show, I invite them to come on the show and tell us the history, or someone from the Rosenberg family come on the show, tell us the history. And if someone from Porsche comes on, which they don't have the balls, those chicken little Nazi shits, to come on, tell me why you're not giving these people 10%. There you go. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, don't hold back on about saying how you feel, Steve.
Okay. I'm very shy.
It's only money. It's only money. It's only money. Come on.
It's only money. Yeah, but
I'm very shy, David. You know how it is. It's dirty money now. But you know what's funny? Every Jew I know has a Porsche. Like they all buy Porsches, and I'm like, these are Nazi cars. Like Lamborghini was Italian. So Lamborghini was kind of okay because Mussolini wasn't he was a fascist that didn't do shit. He was a pussy. And they chopped his head off, which was good. Ferrari, But I mean, to me, it's sort of like Porsche, BMW, and you start, I guess Hugo Boss, you start looking at like they were intimately involved. Where, Lamborghini, he didn't do shit.
Their argument was we do this or we lose our business and we die. So,
Well, sometimes you got to have balls and take the moral high ground.
Yeah. Well,
but they also.
But Mussolini took the moral high ground because they cut.
He did. He got his head chopped off.
And hung him upside down so everybody could have a look at him.
That's his moral high ground. Yeah. But I think the other thing about
he was so tall that they had to hang him upside down.
Well, yeah,
to his face. Yeah.
No, they chopped his head off. They never saw his face. They played football with his head. No, that's true. Like if you read the history books about it, they literally beheaded him. Him and his mistress, I think it was.
Yeah.
So, but so it was not a whatchamacallit. It was not a good ending for him. But I understand. Listen, a lot.
He hid away anyway. The Nazis came and rescued him. And he didn't want to be rescued. He was happy up to the top of the mountain, keeping out of everybody's way.
Nobody can find him.
They sent in the special forces and rescued him. Thinking, I don't want to be rescued.
Yeah. They're going to chop off my head. So, but the interest...
Maybe they will come with a chopper and rescue me now.
Yeah.
No.
Always be ready to be rescued.
There you go.
That's the moral.
People have said to me before, they need to be rescued from my chopper. But that's another story.
There you go. That's a whole nother rescue. But yeah. But if you think about what you just said, if you're the Krupp family, Hugo Boss, Porsche, Mercedes and Benz, and you go BMW, you followed Hitler's bullshit. And he's telling you we're going to take over the world. And in the beginning, it looks like he's going to do it. And you're German and right. But if you're German and you're Aryan, when I read all these history books about these guys, they were right there. None of them really said in private, oh, this is terrible. They were all like, oh, cool, we're going to own the world. Now, of course, their descendants are like, oh, my great-great-grandfather didn't really. Yes, he did. You can't defend the guy because like if you look at someone like Schindler. Schindler, sure, I'll do whatever you want. Meanwhile, Schindler goes and saves 1,000 Jews. Okay, I don't see BMW doing that. I didn't see Mercedes-Benz. Definitely Porsche. They just kicked the poor fucking guy out for no money. So there's a whole thing of I have to do it so I don't die, but I can do the moral high ground, and that's what Schindler did. Think about it. Schindler literally saved 1,000 people to make sure that they didn't die. And I don't see anybody else in history that have done it. And if they have, come on the show and tell us their story, because we don't know.
A lot of people did it. A lot of people did it here in Holland as well and got killed for doing it. That matters as much as I know anything about how the Germans were here during the Second World War. But yeah, strangely enough, another one of our favourite subjects, Catholic priests. A lot of them were
fucking little pedophiles
in helping getting people away. You know, and a lot of families. I know a lot of Dutch families took Jewish children in.
Right.
You know, as adopted and said, "Oh no, they're not Jewish. They're whatever."
Dutch, yeah.
So,
but there is a point there because also especially in Sweden and also in Norway, it's a lot of dirty money from the Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Sweden, who was neutral.
Neutral, yeah.
You know, yeah, and being neutral became handy because they were neutral, so that they let the eyes closed if they got the money. You know.
Yeah, Norway was occupied, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were, and the king was sent to UK and everything, but there's a lot of dirty money in Norway and especially in Sweden because they used this neutralness to get rich. I don't want to be that bold as Stephen to name all the companies, but
I can't. I can do it for you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's history. It's not like we're making it up. Well, Switzerland also was neutral, but they were neutral for both, for America and the Nazis, right? Because everybody had their money there, and it's sort of like we can't, like the war is fighting everywhere except like, but don't go into Switzerland because you'll hurt our money. So whether you were an American, a Nazi, whatever.
There's stories of cafes, you know, people sitting in the street in the sun and with all the officers from you know all the different
both sides.
Yeah, just sitting there, you know, enjoying life. Thank you very much. But I think going back to Sweden, I mean, Sweden's crapping itself, you know, because they're thinking that the Russians are going to jump in, and they've done some sort of devil's deal now with the Turks, who have now finally agreed to let them into NATO, and now they're just waiting for our Mr. Orban, who's just sticks his finger in every pie, it would seem, and just refuses to vote. They had this thing about what was it now, a week or so ago? Oh, it's all to do with refugees or something, and he was totally against it.
Right.
And then they took this executive vote, the European Parliament, and they said, okay, it's now going to happen. So they said, well, how can it all happen? You have to have this, you know. He said, well, we invoked an executive vote, and Mr. Orban at that point of time had gone off to the bathroom, so he wasn't able to vote.
What the? Are you serious?
Yeah, that's
what a pussy.
No, yeah, you know, so he just so in order not to compromise his own position, I would imagine, he thought, well, I'll just go off and have a tinkle. And when he came back, of course, everything, he didn't have to vote.
I'm sorry. Where'd he go? He went to have a tinkle. He went to the loo to have a tinkle. What is he, 5 years old? Did you have to go have a tinkle, Mr. Politician? Oh my God! Yeah. What a bunch of pansy pussies!
You know the old people
have politician.
Yeah, but you know the old people has this hanging around, you know, and you have a green one, you have a red one, and I know at least in the Norwegian Parliament you can hear everything either with this one, or it's the sound is everywhere from the So if he was in the bathroom, he could vote, because a lot of stories has gone on about people suddenly have to not people, politicians suddenly had
They're
to
not
go
people.
to the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
You're right.
That's the reason why I know he was having a tinkle, of course, because you would have needed both hands to tinkle with without
Yeah,
himself
but he has a mouth or something.
Any dampness, and of course while that was all happening, he wasn't able to to switch on the voting thing. I would imagine that's what it is. I mean, who knows?
I'm just happy it's 18.
Who cares?
Nobody under 18 are allowed to
Watch our show.
see this.
Our show
Well,
gets
that's what-
I don't even have to click it's for adults only. Just the language alone, when it does its checks, it'll literally come back. Nope, limited monetization. The language on this show is like, are you kidding us? And I'm like, hey, we click the button for language. I mean, like, we'll tell you flat out that we do say some stuff. We also say things that, according to YouTube, are uncomfortable, because we say Nazis in the war, and we talk about on this show this particular. Yeah, so this is uncomfortable. So we have to click that as well. So it limits the advertisers.
Is that a new social reference then? So
no, it's just there's a paragraph when you.
Nazis make you uncomfortable. Is that?
I think so. I think that's
yeah.
Yeah, Nazis make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll get that in the merch store immediately.
It's a nice T-shirt,
Yeah.
We'll get that. We'll have that in the merch store in no time. Nazis make me uncomfortable. I have a feeling we'll be selling lots of those. So
yeah,
and a lot of other text. If you're a politician, don't go to the loo.
That's right. Don't go to the loo if you're a politician.
Yeah.
I did see a funny billboard yesterday, which I will give the Republican Party credit. The Republican Party had a billboard and it said, "Hey, Democrats," and this is what a man is. And they showed a guy working, like a construction guy, and they said, "Hey, this is what a woman is," which just showed a very beautiful woman. And then, and this is the part I don't agree with, and it flipped over and then it showed Donald Trump, and it said he was right about everything. So I chuckled that the Republicans are now saying on this billboard, and I don't know if it's a Republican or a person that is a Republican, saying, "Listen, there's two sexes, male and female." Like Ricky Gervais just had his Netflix special that just came out, and he, like, there's two sexes, male, female. That's it. You can be whatever you want. So I thought that was an interesting billboard. They're starting to like go back to the old, which I agree with. You're either a male or you're a female, not 14 different sexes. You can identify as whatever you want, but you're a male or a female. I heard some girl say, I identify as blah, 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 and you should know that. And the guy's retort was, I don't know shit about you. I can just look at you and assume you're a female or a male. And if I say hello, madam, or hello, sir, and you don't like it, that's too bad.
Yeah.
And,
but what about hermaphrodites? That is an issue.
Well, then I think you could say hello, sir, or madam. And I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you're offending them. Because,
Or you can say hello, sir, madam.
Sir, madam. There you go. Sir, madam.
And just say to everyone, because you never know. Hello, sir, madam.
I say to the women, I always say to the women, I go, hello, my dear, or my dear, can you please help me, to be respectful? And to men, I'm like, hey, douchebag, we got stuff. And it seems to work. And what I found, as you get older, you don't give a fuck. And I didn't give one when I was 5. So now that I've gotten a little older than 5, I really don't. So
I've sort of taken a leaf out of your book, Stephen, and I've decided that I love. I mean, you're my my woke mentor, and so this Christmas.
That's scary.
This Christmas, yeah, we'll have a T-shirt with that made, I'll tell you.
Yeah, Stephen is your woke mentor.
Yeah, so this holiday season, I sent everybody things like happy holidays, and I sent it to a friend of mine, and he sent it back, and he said, Merry Christmas. Why didn't you say Merry Christmas? I said, well, I can't say Merry Christmas because it's not very woke, is it? It's like happy holidays.
Right. But I've been saying happy holidays, though, since I'm a kid. So it has nothing to do with woke. It's just that I don't celebrate Christmas, and I don't know if you're Jewish
and
or
how would
you
I
could be
know that?
Muslim or
Because
whatever.
you sent me a message on Christmas Day saying happy pagan holiday or
well, that's because it is. It's a make-believe bullshit holiday that we gave you, and you're welcome. So yeah, that's what I do.
There are some Jews, at least in Norway,
Right.
who are celebrating
Christmas. You know why?
Yeah,
Because we want the gifts.
money.
And also for the kids, and stuff like that.
When I was a kid, we had a Hanukkah bush. We had a Hanukkah bush, which was very nice, and we told Grandma to shave it. But anyway, we had a Hanukkah bush when I was a kid, and Morton just caught that joke. We had a Hanukkah bush when I was a kid, and we had the menorah. And sometimes Hanukkah fell with the pagan holiday, and sometimes it didn't. And if it did, it was very cool. But ever since I was a kid, it was always like happy holidays, because you didn't know if they were.
Yeah, but
Kwanzaa knew, but you didn't know if they were Muslim, if they were Jewish, if they were. So happy holidays really encompassed everything, and no one was offended. And I'm okay with that.
And the crazy thing was, there's been lots of people I've listened to on the BBC over the holiday period.
Right.
And there's lots of people. There's one guy who's a Muslim, another guy's a Hindu guy, and they say, "Well, we love Christmas. We love Christmas. Happy Christmas to everybody." I mean, it's I went out for my walk on Christmas Day, basically because I've been really sick for the week before. It's like the first time I went out. And I was walking. I went out early whenever just the dog walkers and myself were out, and they must have thought that I was some sort of lost Santa. Because I just said to everybody, Merry Christmas.
Right.
Because I'm in Holland, so they look at me anyway. So they say, what did he say? And I think they just accept the fact that it's just that strange old man walking around early.
Did you have pants on this time or no pants?
Well, strangely enough, it was raining, and I had my panties on.
Okay, your panties. Just checking. And your rubbers. Did you have your rubbers on?
Yeah.
Did your rubbers?
That means something completely different where I come from, Stephen.
Rubbers?
Yeah,
rubbers?
I know.
Yeah.
What's funny though, when we were kids, they weren't called galoshes or whatever. They would put your rubbers on, and you put the rubbers on over your shoes, and then that was it. Yeah. So I still like the term rubbers because people freak out.
Yeah, they do.
But I think
I had a friend. He was educated, and he went to the US to get educated, and he went to school or something. He said, "Oh, can I just borrow your rubber?" Rubber. So it's an eraser. Yeah. So no, I don't want a razor. I don't want to shave. I want to use the rubber. But there you go.
Yeah.
I think we can agree on, and everyone listening and or watching, or doing both. Maybe someone is doing both.
Well, people are asleep.
We might say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yes. Even though our New Year was in September.
Yeah, see?
It was?
It's no, but
yeah.
No.
Did you? With the
Holy moly! Come on! We have to have.
You can't win. He's bloody miserable all year round. Doesn't make any difference what you say to him.
I do say Happy New Year. It's very. I mean, during the I know. I'm very woke. But the Jewish, being Jewish, we celebrate in September with Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. We have that New Year
in September.
Right. It's good for us because listen, it's the same reason that the Jews celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah. It's more gifts. All right, just relax. So New Year for you guys is good because basically, if you think about it, we own most of the distilleries around the globe. We have silent majority partnerships and all of it, so we make money. So yeah, Happy New Year. Please drink up. In fact, get so drunk, throw up on yourself. And we own probably what you're going to use, the laundry detergent you're cleaning, and whatever. We own it all. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why people hate us.
And we highly recommend everybody goes to Stephen's dry cleaning service for those people.
Yes.
Who are busy, chugging it all down and going outside for that proverbial pavement pizza.
Holiday. Yes. But no, it is. It's a happy. It should be as my mother-in-law said to me the other day. She said everyone should have a happy, healthy, lucky, and prosperous New Year. And I agree with her 1,000%.
Why? Why? That's
cheers to that.
Isn't it?
Yeah. What's the problem?
Maybe you should have a t-shirt now that says Stephen woke up. It's probably even better.
About 5 hours ago, I did. Yeah. Listen, I never wish ill on anybody, except Nazis. And then there's, maybe the French, and then some other people. But anyway, don't worry about that. No, I like the French. They gave me, they gave us something. I don't know what they gave, but they gave us some. Oh, penicillin, right? Louis Pasteur. Congratulations, you did something.
Oh,
but no,
Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty.
I've met her. She's not that friendly. But I'm just saying it's
Citroën.
Oh, I love the Citroën. That's a great car.
Yeah. Yeah, the only problem is with they make. It's really strange because the Citroën and Porsche. I'm sorry, and Peugeot, who my friend in England still says it's not Peugeot, it's Pogwat. Work that way.
Oh, okay. We call them Peugeot over here.
Yeah.
We call Peugeots.
It calls them Pogwat.
Pogwat?
Pogwat. Yeah, well, that's how it's written, isn't it? So you have to say how it's written. But they looked like they were being designed by somebody in the dark with crayons. They were so ugly. And now this last 5 years or so, the Peugeots, the Pogwats, they're really starting to look quite nice. I mean, the Citroën are great cars, but the problem is that they break down, and Renault
because the lift system on them and everything. I had a friend who had one because there was a dealership in Palm Beach, and he bought one, and it was the coolest car, and it did things, and I was like, it was awesome, but they used mineral water, kind of like what the Bentley does. So when things would go wrong with it, and you had to flush it with mineral water and do all this other things, it was like an event. So he had it for about a year, and the joke was he said, I'm going to take it out to see how long before it has to go to the dealership. But it's a gorgeous car. If they could just get it to work like a car, that would be awesome.
This whole new range of Citroëns, they look fantastic.
Yeah. I like the old ones.
I like the old ones much better.
Yeah.
The electronics is just shit. And
so, well, that's what. And it's French. They're French, David. They don't know.
I have a little story there because I've had 90 cars in my life.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, let's not go down that road then. Not go down that road.
One of the cars I only had for 4 hours, but it counts in,
Sure.
I bought it on an auction and I just sold it when I get home. But I was in holiday in Denmark, and I was so close to the ferry to Norway, and my Peugeot broke down.
Shocker.
And what to do? I called not the 911 as you have, but I called the garage, and I didn't say what car I had. But could you please come and help me so I can get on the ferry, because the next one is next day
Right.
And there was a cool Danish guy coming, and he was going like this. No.
Sharp intake of breath.
This car. Did you know this car is French? He said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you had to. You must tell me that before I come, because it's useless. I can help you. I can help you drag it onto the ferry, but the Norwegians have to pick up the rest, because I never take French cars.
I love it.
Okay,
that's
so
true.
This is the Danish road service, road rescue service.
Yep.
Shout out to them. If it's French, just drag it onto a ferry.
There you go. Well, and I've talked to some ferries. They like it. They like to be dragged on. Oh no, that's a different type of ferry. So, but well, I will say this: I did own a Peugeot for 2 years when I lived in, and I liked it. It was a 5-speed. It drove great. It was sporty. It was zippy, and I would say I never had a problem.
Did it have a gearbox?
5-speed, had a gearbox.
Yeah. What, on the column, on the steering?
No, on the floor.
Okay. Yeah.
And I liked it. And I will say the only bad thing with it, about 2 years into it, the reason I got rid of it is because the paint started to peel. And I went to the dealer and I said, "What can we do about this?" He goes, "Well, that's like a problem they have." And I was like, "Well, it's not a problem I'm going to have." And then we went ahead and bought a Nazi car. So
what color was it then? Red.
it was a silverish gray metallic.
Yeah.
It was very pretty.
David, you know the deal with the red cars, yes?
Yeah, it's the paint.
Because because if they have a problem,
only red metallic is the only one that seems to really work. I have a really good friend of mine who used to work. Well, it's not called DuPont anymore, but he still works for them. But so we know all about car paint. And red is one of the, everybody loves red cars, and they just flake off. And they first of all they fade. They go pink,
but
and then they flake off.
I was visiting because I was selling merch, in the old days, and I was visiting one of the marketing bosses in BMW. I sold to them also, and he told me never buy a red car because in our factory we pick out, there's some accidents in the production line. We have to mark the cars, and it's not metallic, it's ordinary red, so we know where the Monday cars are, So he told me it was usual, at least in Germany, but I don't know. So if you have a red car out there, no good.
I mean, they do now. There's this one that I think is going back to Citroën and the Polkwarts. They do have this wonderful red metallic, which there's two of them. I think one's got a little bit of a gold flaked in it, and the other one's got silver, and they really pop. I mean, when you see them, but if it's made on a Monday morning or a Friday afternoon in a factory anywhere in France, that's going to break down in the shortest possible.
Yeah, if it's made on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday in France too, it's going to suck. So come on, don't give the French that much credit. They don't. Name one. Even the Concorde didn't work for them. I mean, they have nothing.
It was lovely. It was lovely.
I was on it. It was very nice when it worked.
Half British, and the reason why they took it out is because of tire failure.
Well, they had that and the one that exploded.
And the Americans wouldn't allow them to fly subsonic into the UK.
Well, that and the one that exploded in Montreal. So I think that had a lot to do with it too.
Exploding airplanes. Well, that's just part of the course, isn't it?
Oh, well, that's good to know. So as we basically covered most of the 20th century now in history, between the Nazis and the French being useless and their cars. So the question now is, I read an article about French women now are not wearing high heels anymore. They're going to wear flat shoes because it's better. They're getting more into fashion that way. And I'm like, no, go back to the high stilettos because that's the only thing you women are good for there. Anyway, and I say that because it's true. But we've covered most of the history in 20th century. So in 2024, that's coming up. What do we think? Is 2024 going to be better or worse? I just read a whole article about AI in China and AI in America, and companies like Google and Amazon are making more investments than venture capital groups in AI. What do we think 2024 is going to be?
Are we going to have another year then? Does a year come after this one?
So you mean for the show?
You know what? You know what Johnny Logan says.
What?
Johnny Logan said, "What's another year?"
That's right. What's another year? Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to 2024.
But I don't want to see a woman.
Typo in it.
I don't want to see a woman in flat shoes at Champs-Élysées.
No, I only want to see women in stilettos and thigh-high boots, and that's it. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's all we need to say about next year.
Well, going back to that, you have the most bizarre, just before we finish, the most bizarre Christmas dinners. We had Boxing Day. Family get together.
Yep.
Annette and her kids, which was great. I mean, that's always as a child I loved Boxing Day better than Christmas Day.
Right.
But that's a completely different story. But the conversation was about life, the universe, and TOF entertainment, of course.
Of course, everything we hear is about us.
Yeah, of course. So the guy, it was like, have anything in particular this year that sort of stuck out? And I said, yeah, it was really fascinating talking to Mistress K. And
Okay.
so the whole discussion then, oh, where's that? Can we find it? Oh yeah, and the other guy, oh, because they all are subscribed to the channel, and like all our
Right.
listeners, none of them bothered to listen. But that's
Right.
forget it.
Subscribe. That's nice.
It's numbers. So the conversation gets on then to why would people do this? Why would people do that? And then all of a sudden somebody says, "Have you seen that website from this artist guy where he turns women into different forms of utensils?" So like what? Like
Really?
okay, so he's a whole range of women that are all
Right.
bound up in they wear latex, they're completely bound up, and
Right.
he turns them into chairs.
Nice. Can
And
we
so
get him on our show?
Yes.
that's exactly what they were saying. Get him on the show.
Hey, we got to
Put
get
him
this guy on the show.
No, I think he may well be dead. This particular guy, but
Oh,
and
well,
wheelbarrows and all sorts of like.
He,
And
he can
another,
join
another,
anyway.
another woman he turned into a golf trolley.
nice, because I need one.
So she was like bound up on these two wheels and
Yeah, as they should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's most
anyway,
women
that
should be
was
like that. Yeah.
I don't know why I went off on
Everything-
that tangent, but
Everything is possible in art.
Yes.
yeah.
Everything. And everything is possible also in real life.
Yep.
I-
And Morton
I
now is
strongly
going to,
believe that.
and now Morton is
Apart
going to
from-
make women bound as golf trolleys in his
No,
new art
no,
coming out
no,
next
no.
year. I'm going to use actually AI to do that and put that on our website. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But
That'll be good.
I mean, the photography is amazing because you get
Yeah.
all there's a red latex suit and a black one, so you
Right.
get all the reflections and everything on it, and you just think,
Very
why?
cool.
So the whole discussion
Oh.
is regards to that. So thank you, Miss K, for jollying along our Boxing Day conversations.
There you go.
That
If
went
it, listen,
on that then followed on by nigrophiliac ducks. But there you go. It appears that ducks will continue to have sex with other dead ducks.
necrophilia. Necrophilia.
Yeah.
Okay. Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
For people that don't know what it means you have sex with dead things. Or if you're married, your
Yeah.
wife. There you go. So yeah.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, but they're only partially dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Only
are
when it- until you-
we are so many living people. Why don't it's enough? Come on.
Oh,
That's true.
talking about saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. Did you read the story about the British politician? I think it's
By how he roofied his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
come on.
He was apologizing.
He said, yeah, we should do, but he just because he's supposed to be putting this act through Parliament to make
Right.
to make roofies illegal. And
Yeah.
then he said, yeah, it's probably the best way to get through. The best way I could get through my marriage was to keep her sedated. Is what he said, or something.
Yep. And then he had to apologize. A big article. There's a big thing last week in the FT, and I started to laugh when I'm reading it. I'm like, dude, I can say shit like that because it's comedy, kinda. And you can't. You're a politician, so whether it's comedy or not, you really can't be funny because
it was supposed to be a joke. He said,
I know. I read his context of it, and it's just that we're in such a society of little mamby-pamby pussies that you can't say anything. Like
The
earlier
problem
when we were
is,
talking
Stephen,
about Porsche.
The problem is, Stephen, of course,
Yeah.
that being a politician and being funny is an oxymoron. So
I was just going to say, yeah, the shit they do.
So, yeah. So there you
Yeah.
go.
I'm so happy I'm out of the politics, but
Oh, we're happy.
I
We're so
do-
happy as well.
I follow them, but mostly I'm just laughing, and
Yeah.
you can't
Well,
take
I'm not
it
allowed
seriously
I'm
because
not allowed to follow and laugh at people anymore because of the restraining order. But
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, gentlemen, I want to say it's been a pleasure having these dialogues with you in 2023, and I look
You
forward
want
to
to say that.
2024. I have it's in the script. It says right here, thank David and Morton for being on the show. You wrote that. I'm reading it.
but
so-
but who will be in 24 first?
in what respect?
time-wise,
In time wise, yeah.
What time have you got, Mort? What time are you on now, mate?
The time here is 15:21.
That's
Same as me.
3:21 for you people in America that don't know military time. So.
Yeah, same here. So we and Uncle Stephen, it's probably like stupid o'clock in the morning still, or
8:21.
Oh, 8:21. Okay.
Yeah, 8:21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we.
I think it's Australia or something.
Australia's always first.
No, isn't there some Pacific island that gets?
I think there's an island that's like 3 meters to the left of Australia, so they get to celebrate 2024 30 seconds ahead of Australia.
Yeah.
There used to be a flight, and I wanted to take it. I don't know if they do it anymore. That started in Australia and would fly around the world. So you celebrated New Year's like 9 times on the airplane. And I always thought that would be very cool. But I have friends in Australia, so they call me and it'll be like, noon here. And they're like, Happy New Year. I'm like, Happy New Year. Like, it's December 31st still, schmuck. The sun's out. Calm down. So it's like, I'm not that excited yet. I'll get excited in a couple hours. But it's, and when I lived in California, it was interesting. I would celebrate New Year's at 9 o'clock California time because in New York, it was New Year's. So to me, being born and raised in New York, New Year's to me is always midnight New York time. So even if when I lived in Australia, for a year, I celebrated New Year's. I mean, granted, they celebrated it, but then 12 hours later is when I celebrated it again because it was midnight in New York. And even in Europe, when I've been in Europe, it's still 5 hours early. It's like Happy New Year, but I still wait for New Year's midnight in New York. I think it's just a New Yorker thing. But yeah, so it's been very interesting celebrating New Year's.
It must be very interesting if you were at a party or something. And you just sitting there.
I sit there anyway.
Popping up the champagne, and you.
I thought you meant popping the guy's wife, but anyway, no. I just have my scotch and cigar at parties, and I'm very happy, and that's it.
But the same thing happens here, though, Mort, because I call my sister and friends in the UK, and they go, "What? It's 11 o'clock, mate. Get alive." Yeah. Happy New Year. No, it isn't. Go away. Come back in an hour's time. I'll be in bed by then.
Go away.
In an hour's time, we will be more than happy to take care of you. Yes, that's how it works.
Yeah. Next year is going to be a good year.
Yes.
Why are we selling tires? Are we in the tire?
I want us to a good year. No, next year is going to be a Pirelli.
Oh, Pirelli, well, those are good tires. I like those. Yeah, those are good on the cars. Yeah.
So we should say Happy Pirelli year. Happy Pirelli.
Happy Michelin. Happy Michelin.
Yeah, happy
Michelin.
No,
but 2024, it has something magnificent about 2024. Come on.
Cool. We look forward to it. Well, the CIA says there's a big event that aliens are going to invade us in 2027. So you got 3 more years of peace. And next year is the presidential election for America. Good luck. We'll see who becomes president.
So, as I said to Stephen before we came on the show today, go out now. And if you're an American, go out now and order your brown shirts on Amazon because they ain't going to be available for much longer.
There you go.
Be prepared.
There you go.
Be prepared.
It's going to be interesting. Well, everybody everybody have a happy, healthy, and prosperous and a great 2024. Thank you for hanging out with us in 2023. We will see you next Saturday in January 24 with No Snobs or Knobs.
Is that show business Saturday? That's all I have to remember. It's show business.
Come on!
Death wears thy sting. Yeah. Well, like I always tell everybody, I have to do this 5 days a week with him. You guys only get him an hour a week. So, there's a whole thing here.
It's difficult. It's difficult at my age. It's difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No, but when you get older, it's really difficult because then you don't know what day it is or time and nothing,
Yeah.
I'm surprised he remembers his name. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful rest of your 2023. We'll see you in 2024. Guys, a pleasure. David, take us home.
Yeah, well, happy whatever's left of that holiday period.
That pagan friggin' make-believe shit? Yeah, happy that.
Okay. Bye.